Eddie Soldiers. The age-old debate of to read or to reread. That is the question. At this point in my life, I've accumulated so many books that I really just don't know what to do with myself. I have stacks of advanced copies, I have stacks of books that friends have loaned me, I have stacks of books that I've bought myself and emptied my bank account for that I need to read, so I feel like I'm justifying spending all that money to myself. There was a time in my life, ergo quite a long time ago, when I was mostly prepubescent into early teenagerdom, where I did not have a job with expendable income, and I just had one shelf. Actually, now that I think about it, it was this shelf, or should I say like bookcase, not just like a shelf, like a bookcase. It's only expanded from there, but at a point in my life, I did only have a small number of books. And because of this, and because I love to read, and the library was only open so many days a week, and I read through all of those so fast, I reread my books a lot. Do you see all the creases in this spine? But now that I read so much, I don't really have time to reread any books anymore, and I want to. I like rereading them because there's always something that you missed. No matter how many times you reread a book, I'm always finding little things that I didn't read the first time around. And I've been making a list of books that I've wanted to reread on my shelf for like almost a year now. Like, it's been a long time. And I have not reread any of them because other books have taken top priority. So I have concocted a list of book series that I want to reread, mostly because a lot of these final books are coming out this year. And I don't remember remotely what happened to the characters in the first book. First up, the Red Queen series by Victoria Aveyard. Sorry, this book is so shiny it's throwing my white balance off, so we're gonna have to hold it like this. Because I own both Glass Sword and King's Cage, and Warstorm is coming out very soon, and my bookstore in particular, the one that I work at, is having an event for this book. And I don't remember anything except the characters' names. I specifically want to reread this series because I ended up never reading the second two, and I just keep hearing so many things about it, both good and bad, and I really want to have an opinion of my own, and I also want them all on my shelf because these covers are really beautiful. Second series to reread, Leigh Bardugo's Grisha trilogy. In my professional bookish opinion, you do not have to have read Shadow and Bone to read Six of Crows, but I found that as someone who did, it was easier to understand the world building. Just saying. But I want to fall in love with the world again. I want to see the Darkling. I want to fangirl over him again because he's just so great. And I want to remember why I liked Alina, because I honestly can't remember at this point because she's just been made into this saint martyr person. Third up is the Ember in the Ashes series. I almost said duology because I only have two. Reaper at the Gate comes out very soon. I'm very excited. I'm one of the OG fans of this series. I know the world is now realizing that there's a series out, and I'm gonna be very angry when the third one comes out and doesn't match the first two on my shelf. And at the end of A Torch Against the Night, we get this whole new influx of not only horror, just be prepared if you're planning on reading that book, but of this new mythology aspect that comes into it that I'm really unsure of how Sabatier is gonna write that. I also really want to see what in the heck that like Darkbringer, light, dark dude, what's his name? The evil guy with the hood. I want to see him, and I also want to see the commandant, or the commandant, or however you pronounce it, because that is like the worst mother in the history of the world, and I love her. I have yet another red and blue series to hold up, and that is the Illuminae files of Illuminae and Gemina. With Obsidio coming out and finishing up this trilogy, I really want to remind myself what happens because, secret, I actually have not read Gemina yet. So I want to reread the duology and get myself excited for Gemina because I really love J. Kristoff and Amy Kaufman's hilarious. And I'm just like, I want to read the thing. And apparently this one's funnier. Alright, it's pretty easy to get funnier than this book, honestly. This was horribly dark. Next up is this series here, The Bone Season by Samantha Shannon. Priory of the Orange Tree comes out sometime in the next year. And this series is just, it's so good. It is so good. The writing is incredible. It's a weird concept, but if you can get over that, please read this. The only problem with this is that this series is going to be 7 books long, which means that after every book comes out, there's going to be a year in between. And I don't really want to have to reread this series 8 times. But then again, there is so much packed into these books. There's only 3 out right now. I probably could reread these like 6 times a piece and I would still be missing information because it's just so densely packed. We're getting near the end. A series that I love so much, and I have actually never fully reread, that I need to reread, is The Raven Boys by Maggie Stiefvater. The series is just so full of magic and wonder and all of the cool, intangible wishes and dreams and time warps that I absolutely love. I mean, I know I'm gonna cry a lot when I reread these too, but I just want to hold all my cinnamon rolls again. I just want to see them all and hug them all and remind myself that it kind of works out in the end. I mean, maybe if I have a depressive episode in the summer sometime, I'll crack these open. It's bound to happen. Lastly, I'm not going to hold up both series because both series are long as hell, and that is the Throne of Glass series by Sarah J. Maas and A Court of Thorns and Roses series by Sarah J. Maas. We have the final book in Throne of Glass coming out in the fall, and we have the companion novel series extension of this series came out in May, and oh my lord. And I know a lot of people are super over the Throne of Glass series because it's like 7 books long, even though it's supposed to be 6, even though it's only supposed to be 3 or 4. But you know what? I am not. And I love the way that she does relationships, not just romantic, but platonic, and I love the way that she builds plot twists. I think they're so well done, and I actually really liked Tower of Dawn. So I need to know what happens in the frickin' 7th one because I feel like it's gonna be a really epic story. And then in A Court of Thorns and Roses series, I keep making connections to A Court of Mist and Fury because I freaking love that book, it's so good, and I can't remember what happens in this. I remember what happens in Aqua War because I just read it, and I remember what happens in Aqua Math because it's such a good book, but in this one I'm like, we meet the main character. Nailed it. So there you have it. Those are some book series that I want to reread in the next little while. I don't know when I'm going to have the time to do so, but we'll make it work. Well, either I'm gonna make it work or I'm just gonna look up spoilers on the internet and like spark note the summaries of all these so I can remember what happens so I can just go into the final book without having to worry about all the words. Please leave down below if there's any series that you need to reread because now I just want to reread everything. I don't have the time for that, guys. That's gonna be like an entire year of just reading my own books. You thought I was exaggerating on that. Oh no, it's a problem. It's not a problem. No. It's a life choice. I hope you guys are all having a nice day wherever you are, and me and my life choices will all see you next week. Bye!